Aspis Buzz. Abi. Saucy. Zest. Sawdog. Less. Stacks. Pancado. Buzz. BCK. Tammy.
Here we go, an upper bracket final, two kings in their respective regions.
So many ghosts in play, but one man over on Loud's even gone in for the Sheriff. Excited to see what Aspis can do. He hasn't had the best tournament so far, and massively underperforming compared to some previous events.
Yeah, the last game we saw the real Aspas. That was where he was able to really step up and show us what he's got, but ultimately, it's whether he can keep that up consistently. And the man on the other side of things, Buzz, has been insane the whole tournament.
Absolutely. He's currently the second highest rated player next to Ye, which, pretty solid achievement for a man that...
Not a bad man to be second to.
Absolutely. And Buzz, he hasn't always had the best of tournaments when he reaches this international stage, so it's a pleasure to see him actually start to step it up. Now, we'll get into more of the conversation around the stats and the players a little later. For now, it looks like that Sheriff's about to be challenged. Aspis happy to concede the ground after just the shot, the information, and, well, they're going to have to play back into this site, back behind the wall. But Sassy still has a recon to play with. It's going to be making its way into the site anytime now.
Well, they spotted the cam at least, so that's not going to cause them too much troubles later into the round. A full retake, though, is not the most common setup going into these pistol rounds. It can be quite difficult to get back in, especially with no damage done.
Some ideas there, Aspis putting a ping down and then spamming through the wall, but he's not going to find anything, and Stax has grabbed one. The flash now primed and ready, and Buzz is going to utilize that, but the shots are not connected, and with Stax going down, the site is now lost. DRX have to fight their way back in, and they've now lost window as well. Everything's falling apart for the Koreans. RB is the last bastion, and he will fall as well. The round goes to Loud as they pick up their pistol.
Yeah, solid retake from them. It was looking very shaky, especially with some of the afterplant positions, like having to clear out 3 different players from those backlines, and Pancada does an incredible job of it. We saw the stats earlier on. I feel like the stat sheet was a little bit unreliable, putting Sadak at the top with only 2 games currently on Viper.
He's a Viper main
He's not even playing Viper in this game. It's just
don't worry
doing
about it.
But I do think Pancada has been one of the best players, especially for this Loud squad, but also just in general on the controllers. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has. The rest of the team, though, it's an interesting face to Loud. You got the last event. We had Aspis in the top 10. He was having a solid bunch of games start to finish. You look at it this time around, and actually, there's no Loud players in the top 10. There's none in the top 15. You've got Les as the highest rated player. He's number 16, and Aspis has found himself in 26. So it's definitely been a fall off from previous events, but maybe just slow to start and warm up. They're only against pistols here. The Classics already netting themselves 1 kill. Damage here is the name of the game. You don't expect to walk out with a victory. And with the reinforcements already here, that's pretty much out of the question. The only thing is, can they manage to drop 1 or 2 more weapons and make this one expensive? And already this is a success.
Yeah, it's going to be the farm up for less, which unfortunately is not going to be the most useful ultimate to have going into this 3rd round. I actually look at it slightly differently, though, with Loud. I look at it as their team has consistently been good across every single player, that they haven't needed that superstar. I would be very worried going into this match, for example, if Buzz didn't perform.
Yes.
I think that means Loud win, hands down. So
sure.
I think that's the other side of the coin is Loud have been so good across every single player. DRX have some incredible players, but if they go missing, they could be in real trouble.
That's exactly it. I mean, having a well-rounded team, not having a guy #1 in the event and top 5, it doesn't even matter. As long as you're all performing to the level you need to be, they're going to keep pushing forward. Loud have caught them completely off guard. They thought maybe the presence they'd shown would be enough to deter them, but no. Loud come in with a brave face and an opening duel, giving them a rifle to play with and completely dismantling DRX's plans. They're looking for space elsewhere, and a good shot by Zest and a push up through halls could buy them a little bit more room to play with.
Yeah, bear in mind this bonus round on the side of Loud actually has rifles on every single player, so it's still very dangerous and something that DRX definitely have to take their time with. I think after that initial aggression, just slowing things back down, making sure things don't get too far out of control, and resetting back into this A-site take. The problem is, though, they're pushing into what is normally your 2-site anchors, so this is going to be tough.
Well, that snake bite should slow them down, but one man's already gone in. Buzz is on the site, another snake bite coming his way, stopping that wide swing from coming in. There's a gap, and he's trying to find the angle on it. So is Pancada, though, returning fire, and the shots are landing. Good damage done, but he's surrounded. Taken down, another kill for DRX. With the players sitting inside of halls, well, he can't quite help out his teammate. Loud are starting to chip away at these players and still having the rifles. This makes it very intimidating for DRX. They're going to concede the site and try to play the post plans, but even then, Mako only has the one snake bite. They're going to have to rely on duels bringing it across the line.
Yeah, well, at least he gets the snake bite out before they actually get it. No, it's just removed, but Marco's managed to actually hit the shot. It comes down to the 1v1 with it already, 1v2, and with it already halved, they have to peek into this one. Marco is going to be landing that final shot, and DRX, okay, it's costly, but they've got themselves on the board, and Marco actually getting that many kills is going to have himself the ult.
This is something we've seen from FPX many times, right? The ability to deal damage in rounds like this, just exaggerated by the sheer quantity of rifles you're bringing into what should be a low-buy round, but this has come way too close. In the dueling ability, Loud have matched up 1-to-1 easy, and outside of that, they were seconds away, not even seconds, a second away from getting that defused from right under their nose. That could have went badly wrong. It didn't. DRX win the round, but they'll pay for it fiscally as they move into this with all their credits on the line. But a fantastic opening duel by Buzz. He's taken that inside of double doors by the looks of it. Just a straight swing from both players that leaves the attackers with the advantage.
Now we have to see how Loud are actually going to adapt to this. Again, it was mentioned on the desk, a lot of that utility is expected to be removed by Sky, but with the dog already gone, they might have to do that a little bit more manually. The thing is, though, with this advantage, you can see DRX slowly resetting into that take of B. Aspas is already here, and they are going to be walking into Less's trap.
Two of them, in fact. And look at the updraft trap. I mean, you don't see that every single day, but he's going to try to get past it in theory and get caught by it. Maybe the drone at least will be found, and indeed it is on the way through. Aspas not able to catch those kills. I mean, they've got the info, but not yet able to capitalize on it. At least they'll find the one, and an attempted swing reveals there's at least two here. The player's ready to duel, but so is RB. A fantastic opening for DRX as they steal this site away from Loud and leave Pancada all alone. That was close. That was very close.
It needs to be a lot closer, though, if he's actually going to be able to do anything in this round. Credits in the bin. Maybe if he gets a few orbs, that would be something. Get the Viper's Pit, might give them an opportunity going into the next round. The fact is, DRX didn't even have to really use that much either. They didn't use the Viper's Pit. They've still got Seekers for the next one, so they could even use that just as an eco buffer if they wanted to. Back harder. Oh, actually, they're facing the wrong way. They just almost walked past each other. He might get a couple of kills here on the way out. That's at least a first, but RB is going to manage to spin on a dime and take him out instead. 2-2. DRX stabilized very quickly indeed. And now, well, as said, economy in the bin.
Yeah, the danger was there that DRX would end up in the same position Loud now find themselves in. Look at this opening. Absolutely fantastic. Seeing the feet and tapping away. And RB that kill, plus he's 31 HP coming out of this engagement, puts him 1 away from his ultimate moving into the next round. They even have the choice to drop a weapon and run that if you wanted to, but up against this kind of buy from Loud, it is just one that you want to play conventionally and win off the advantages that you come into the round with. A little bit of a risk taken here, RB on the other side of the map. Now, if Loud can manage to isolate him in a duel and pick that rifle up, that's already a success for them.
Yeah. Easier said than done. Maybe not. Damn. All right.
Look pretty easy to me.
Les is on form at the moment. Top of the board, 8 kills already. And he's going to get a rifle for Aspas. Now, even if he gets 1 kill, Bladestorm, I don't think he's going to be able to juggle around the weapon just because of his position, but maybe he can take over. Again, though, DRX slowing things back down, waiting patiently, and it's only going to be that 1-for-1 trade.
Still, in a round like this, leaving your teammates with an advantage, they have the Marshal to play with, they have Sheriffs to follow up. This could be huge. It is a gun gone, but look, for 2 trades, you will take that every day of the week. And Les has really just been on fire. Like I said, look at these traps changing it up. We had the updraft trap previously, and it also caught the drone on the way through. This time, waiting to allow them to move back. And this is the part of the map they've been pushing to. When they take B control, they've been sending 2 or 3 players to fight back left. Now they'll have some trouble. They've even put a shock dart down to break a trap that isn't there. And they might even think, oh, maybe Cypher's not around here. Maybe his traps are near. Oh, if they turned, they'd see him. Just in time, they've spotted Les, removed the traps, even got some info because they're going to see them now and know, okay, keep an eye for those in future rounds.
Yeah, this is where things should become quite easy. They're actually going to use the Viper's pit. Especially considering they should know at this point they're up against pistols. Maybe worried about that rifle being picked up from behind, but still quite a heavy investment. Sadak, though, is going to be able to drop one. This leaves things problematic as they're looking to try and wrap through Pancada with another. It's getting very dangerous, but Marco still lies within this pit. Always a nuisance to try and clear the flash. It's perfect, but they got past each other. They don't even realize. Finally, Sadak will turn around and actually they will clear him out. The question is, do they have the time? And it looks like they do comfortably.
Yeah, it's a resounding yes on that. The defuse coming through with 4 seconds left on the clock. And so unfortunate. If you're DRX, you're going to be scratching your head as to how Pancada made it there. But Zest put out a drone. He watched behind them. It came through. It cleared elbow. It cleared their back. Watched for the gun being picked up. But he had just slipped past it, leading them to think they were a lot more free than they were. That is an unbelievable round from Loud, coming in with 4 Sheriffs and a Marshal. And it's Aspas getting those first 2 duels, putting the numbers in their favor, putting DRX on the back foot.
The lucky thing, though, is on the other side, they've got so many ults that it doesn't even matter that much. Tour de force straight through. They can even use themselves, the knives as well, if they really need to in the late round. So it is very costly, and the round going to Loud is huge, but at least DRX on in the bin.
Yeah, it was starting to feel like maybe DRX had that commanded control over the early round, but what a fantastic answer from Loud. I thought even the 2 kills they started with just set them up to do a decent bit of damage, you know, making an okay eco, but the round win, they've propelled themselves back into the lead. Now this hold on B side, again, a completely different setup from these traps. It's the benefit of running the Cypher. If you're able to just keep them guessing, even going to burn utility like we saw before. Now the drone making its way through B main. It's not even spotted the trap, I believe. This could be very dangerous. Even though they get themselves onto the site, there's so much more to worry about. They have destroyed the trap on the way through, though, luckily. And they'll make their way in for the plant. That Bladestorm lurking around spawn, yet to really land any of those knives.
Hunter's Fury in the afterplant as well. You can already see that Zest is walking all the way back just to try and reclaim deep control. They are going to be able to remove some of the utility up close, but look how far away he is. Just making sure that ult will be used no matter what happens here, if they need it. Clearing Buzz, already the first point of call, and they failed at it. He's still sticking around in the back lines, and they need to get rid of him before they can do anything. They are starting to get some damage done, Mitch, but the problem is, until he goes down, they don't have anywhere near the site. Even still, the time is ticking. Buzz already going to get one more, and eventually it all falls apart. A good after-plant scenario for DRX, and again, it's those faster V-takes that have been causing real issue.
Yeah, he saw Aspas on the way back through because of the little skirmish around mid and trying to catch them on the way through B main. He only had that 1 knife remaining and went to get a rifle. Couldn't really do it with that. Buzz taking the space, grabbing them that opening and staying alive to delete Sadak. I mean, the round could have fallen apart completely had he been able to keep running around. That snake bite might not have made it down. But in the end, They've managed to put it up 3-3, tie up the scoreline, and push Loud again to a very weak bye. But look at what they've got to start the round off with. An entire portion of the map locked out by this Viper's Pit.
Yeah, it's still bold, though, because they only have 2 rifles to play with. Oh, Aspas! He's been pushing elbow quite regularly, and with the information they got, it was something, but instead, Hunter's Fury already used so much info guarded, and it is an easy cleanup for DRX. This was a pretty decent investment on a couple of players, still having enough to buy into the next round, but Mitch, they got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you saw those players swinging out after the Hunter's Fury tagged up less. They wanted to swing Aspas and Sassy to provide a bit of support, thinking he was about to be pushed, wall-banged, or scanned up again, but instead, they met Stax, who was ready and waiting for that covering fire. Sadik, he's managed to recover a rifle at least, but the chances don't improve that much. You can see DRX in complete control right now with Pancada. Well, he'll find the one and maybe start farming up that ult again. I don't know that he has the time to get this done. Still got his wall to play with, so he can maybe block off some vision. But that's about where the hope ends.
He's got to almost just, again, try and do as much damage as he can, and he's going to get absolutely nothing for it. DRX break back very easily indeed, it seems. And these B takes have just been fantastic from them. And that's the thing, a lot of teams do almost try to avoid heading into this B site so regularly. Like the A site execution, the afterplant, that's the most common point of call on this map, just because how...
DRX looking to send Loud that way. And with this being Loud's map pick, Tom, what are our expectations to close out this half? I mean, Loud currently on 3. Feels like they could have had more, but at the same time, the eco round they won gave them that little injection to equalize. I can still see this half slipping away from them if they're not careful.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, because I feel like they definitely can still do it on that attacking side, but DRX are very good at the attack. So it's an odd one. Like I feel like we could end up almost somewhat level here, and neither team ends up with a massive, massive advantage just because of how DRX actually likes to play the map.
Well, in this 8th round, we've already seen the trap destroyed, and that has taken a lot of DRX's focus. Clearing out cave, making sure there's nobody close on the boxes or anything like that. You see even the ping just there. It's gone down inside a cave because they're worried about maybe he's gone all the way through. Maybe that's why he's not at the box. But now they've seen they've wasted, I don't want to say wasted. It was wise to check it, but a minute's off the clock and they've got to do something, and all of them are stacked up to A.
There's not much to delay on this A side of the map. Okay, you've got a single fragment which Sadak will be able to throw out, and then it will give a little bit of time for Sassy. He might even just want to try and slow them out with a Hunter's Fury if they continue in this direction. But because of how slow DRX have been, we've gone from just 2 players defending this A site to maybe even 4.
Yeah, I mean, they think they've won it because they've reset their cycle of utility, right? The Viper on the defensive side is now out of util, but on the attack, they've got plenty still. That's such a good tag! Sassy revealing, assisting that way, but it's the kill as well to follow. This leaves DRX with basically no hope. They've got to get in here and plant right here and now. The attempt is being made. Loud rushing in to try and stop it, to halt the plant before it comes through, but they've missed. The plant was on the back of the site, and Pancada now has to clutch again. The Viper on the other side, just running out of Viper's screen. Mako rotating around the pyramid now, about to take the fight. Pancada's looking elsewhere! The timing couldn't be better! DRX have crushed Loud's economy, and the lead is well and truly theirs.
Yeah, I think coming into today, if you were looking at the majority of controllers, you'd have number 1 and number 2 as the 2 controllers we currently have in this matchup. Like Marco, even going back to the last event, the amount of assists he was able to pull off was just truly absurd. The thing is, Sassy does a lot with how much he reveals, but the battles on the actual site are being won in the meantime by DRX. So even though they get down to the 10-second marker, they were able to stabilize even within all of that havoc. And again, it just shows how good the structure and almost the control this team has.
One small piece of utility remaining for Loud, and that round could have fallen apart completely, but there you go, another shock dart burned up. I mean, just look, they're using both shock darts and still not destroying the traps. Buzz has gone down on the way through. We've seen Loud do this before. For DRX, the story of today is stopping history from repeating itself. They need to do that here and now. The pistol still not being dealt with. Sassy will fall, but look at the swing on the back of the site. So much firepower here for Loud, but in the end, they only managed to hold out, not take anyone else from DRX down. RB surviving that round with 1 health, stacks on 10. But DRX still keep that economy in such a flourishing position.
Yeah, And again, it's those fast B takes. I've said it already. Like, Les has been doing a decent job. I think Pancada even getting the opener there. But it's just, it doesn't seem like the synergy between them is that great. Like, you would know even towards the end of that round, a lot of the duels were able to be isolated just because they were slightly off. And sure, they had weaker weaponry. I think we can give them that excuse, but there was a real opportunity for them to steal that round away. Again, Viper's Pit is going to be online with the Blade Storm on the other side, but unless Buzz gets into some sort of clutch, I don't think he's going to use it.
Yeah, that's just being kept back pocket, or in case he's got some crazy ideas of updraft peaks. Now look, 3 rounds left to play for, and we said seeing the scoreline even wouldn't be too bad for either team, but looking at Loud right now, they have a ways to go to make that happen. DRX with the same approach. The movement up through mid, I mean, they've seen a lot of these trap wires playing on the B side again and again. They know maybe they don't have anything to cover this off. That control will be contested late round by RB. By the looks of it, he is just tucked in and waiting. The timing there was perfect. He saw the barrel. At least I think he might have. Either way, he's got the shot connected. The DRX now selling this massive fake information. There's a player on the A side, he's making a ton of noise, they've got through halls, they could be opening the door, but in fact the entirety of the team is waiting outside B. This TP was set to go back to mid, and they've reset for a B take.
The thing is, this is going to be spotted. And they can probably hear this above them. They're eventually going to break it, but all the information is going to be there. It's just whether they can delay them enough, and I'm not so sure they can! Aspas within the smoke still manages to find a kill with the operator, evening things up, and they still haven't found his cam in the shrubbery.
Well, Les has gone down, so that'll do the job, but remember, Loud have held on here with pistols for so long in the past. Now, a rifle in hand, and it's the Op to grab one. Good timing on the trades, and RB following, even despite some great individual plays there for Loud. DRX always have their bases covered.
They just can't crack B, the defense. They can't do it. Again, every single time, there's a cheeky cam, or a trip, or it's something that they walk into, and they still only lose like 1 or 2 players just because their trading is so effective that the second that player's position is revealed, somebody is there to pincer on it. You even see it there. The shot hits, stacks, instantly Marco swings. It's just that interplay between DRX right now, which is just proving too much to deal with. And for Loud, because they're playing so slow, even though they have these deep information positions, by the time they realize, it's already too late.
And sometimes you would have that being a bad trade, because if you imagine the Jet is further back on the corner and can back out, but there was a player watching that as well, so they actually knew Jet was like in the middle of the wall. Just perfect play, great information coming their way. Pancada for one, the snake bite, making it so much easier to take down Buzz with any weapon, but he takes the Guardian headshot!
Oh my.
And it's return times 2! The pistol's at least able to do something. Rifle retrieved at what cost, though? Zest has taken down all his teammates, and Sadix alone with a sliver of health. Oh, they did so well to start this out, Tom, but again, it's left in a near impossible scenario.
They've got the wrong ults in the wrong place. That's the only thing that really benefits him. But now Zest, he's been able to cross.
They don't even need the ults. 2 shock darts,
the thing is, at this time as well, like you might even just want to use it just for the hell of it. Like, just go, okay, Hunter's Fury will guarantee the round. If he even touches it, let's just make sure he loses. I think DRX have been so strong that they've never really needed this ult for any other reason. And as I said, 1 tag will do enough, but even the time that is being bought is going to be far more problematic. Sadak having to be so careful that even in the late seconds, he's just going to try and stick it. Maybe there's a small angle, but eventually he is going to be wallbanged. DRX controlled again in the afterplant, and 8 rounds already on the attack. As I said, I think Loud are normally better defense. DRX are normally better on attack. It doesn't matter, DRX are smashing them.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, the mold being broken is almost out of the question. They're starting to shatter it.
They won pistol and they've got 3 rounds.
They won pistol and an upset eco round.
Yeah,
remember, Sheriffs, they haven't won a single buy round, and this is just a terrible position to be in. I did love the attempt, though. If Sadak had caught both players with that flash, if they didn't have a recon on, they might not have heard him tap it. He might have been able to sneak it out from under their nose, but it wasn't to be this time. Loud, not able to get off the early foundation that they built. We're still at that same level, but look at this push coming through. Aspas changing up the game. It is being watched by RB. He might turn his eye at the wrong moment. We've seen timing be such an incredible feature of this game so far, but, well, he was spotting it No kill to be found either way, but early aggression denied from Loud. They'll again find themselves boxed in and playing the same kind of rounds that haven't been fruitful for them so far.
As I said, like, them finding information has been impossible just because how deep DRX have been playing and almost just feeling out the map. It seems like the calls that are coming through from Stacks have been sublime, and most of the time they've fallen back. I like this, though. Something different, a mid-walk, trying to take some space, trying to remove some information from the other side, maybe catching a rotation, but even still, less is going to go down to Buzz. Flash from Sadak will at least slow them down, at least for a second, but they almost need to sprint to get back to B.
And here's the problem, it's Les that died. B side has no utility, trap wires are gone, and Sadak not having a good time in these duels. Sure, you pick up the one, but so much more still to be done. Buzz had popped the Blade Storm here as it's the last round. He's trying to get some wall bang damage in. But as he's reloading, Aspis closes the space. Now he's nice and close, ready to fight, but Buzz takes out the Blade Storm, and he's ready to take hits. One frag to bring him to 3. And with Stacks, Mako, and Zest alive, a Viper's Pit in play, a flash around, damage done, a drone in as well, and it's even getting the tag. Insult to injury here. There's practically no way short of divine intervention that Loud will be winning a buy round in this half, and this is their map pick, Tom. This is their side, and DRX have dismantled them.
Honestly, I feel like we're going to chuck this back over to the desk, and Achilles is going to have the biggest grade.
A little bit better on the defense.
They got 11 rounds.
Yeah.
And even then, it started to look like it could go back in the other direction.
Was it versus a bad team, at least?
No, it was versus Optic.
Oh, so a bad team. All right, okay. So,
but like,
versus good opposition.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to turn this around. Obviously, we didn't get to see much of their offense because eventually they closed it out, and although Optic brought it back a little bit, they definitely need a pistol here. And the thing is, as Seth was saying, DRX are no slouches on this defense either.
Well, Loud are certainly upping the pace on the Halls push. We didn't see this for a while coming out of DRX, but right off the rip, that's where they're looking to apply the pressure, split in towards Buzz and leave him all by himself. And he'll get nothing done this time around. A solid connection from that Sheriff Aspis has been buying up. They'll be able to get a plant and keep very deep control.
Really good opportunity for them here. Aspis playing up close, and already they're just slaughtering the remaining opposition. Stacks left 1v5. Now, we have seen him do something like this before. I remember a bind. I remember the craziest clutch I think we had in that tournament. But I don't think he has the time to do it. Even any orbs that he can gain would be nice, and he's already starting to spot players behind him. That one should be free. Anything more, though? Yeah, that would be a surprise, and Aspas is going to make sure it doesn't go any further.
I mean, you had pretty much everybody being low. Sassy was the only guy who had close to 100 left with his 5 shields, but in the end, it's just a little too much to ask. Look, that is light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, but let's remember the previous half. Loud won the pistol, the follow-up, an eco round, and outside of that, they got nothing done. They were caught with their pants down every single time at DRX. Sure, they don't win this pistol either, but if you lose both pistols and you're leading by 5, it's a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, and they're not going to really be taking any risks in this round either. Like, basically nothing invested. RB didn't even buy Headhunter bullets. So they really aren't putting anything into this round. It's just like, you know what? We're the kings of the buy rounds. Let's just wait for those to come along. And even still, Buzz has done a little bit of damage. Now, realistically, that means nobody should drop in this round for the side of Loud.
Yeah, especially when you've already got the site control. I think it comes to overextensions, realistically. And with the investment you've got, you cannot allow overextensions to happen. Those mistakes can't be coming through. Now Les is holding back 125 HP. It's going to be a tough fight for Zest. It has to be a whiff from Les to give him any chance, and it's clean as can be. As you said, no Headhunter for RB. Don't really know what he can do here. Maybe try capitalize off that tiny bit of damage his teammate just did, but short of that, it'll be dying to the spike.
It's a really interesting angle to actually try and hold. Obviously, it's one that could allow him to die to the spike later or maybe just catch someone, but I'd be surprised if anybody really went up in that direction. I guess just trying to make sure he's not giving any extra orbs, nothing to play with going into the next, and yeah, he'll go down to the spike instead.
God, it would have been hilarious if they planted in like the further corner.
it just didn't
He's just like staring at the wall like, oh no. Guess I'm playing Headhunter next round. Well, with that, DRX come out 9-5. They have a 4-round lead after losing both pistols and follow-ups, and a near flawless record when they've got rifles in their hands. Funnily enough, I mean when their opponents have rifles in their hands. That's actually flawless. 10 seconds left till the barriers go up, and you can see this is a pretty concentrated push coming out of Loud. I mean, they've got no control anywhere. A trap and a cam watching behind. They're looking to take A in halls.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we're going to see some aggression on the other side. Like already, the Tiger coming through is going to give so much information that look at the rotation. Look straight away, DRX. 3 players on this side. A 4th one going through mid. They're going to have so many players here.
They need that. With the preference already shown to move towards this site right away from the pistol round. It's wise for DRX to still have players stacked up around here. Aspis on his way towards the site, clearing through. Buzz gets dropped. And Aspis is now making his way to the doorway, but that's when he gets caught by Zest. They had a little trap set up on back yellow and halls. They've secured the control, and from here they'll look to fight their way back into the site. But look at how far back Loud have gone to.
Yeah.
They are all the way in the spawn. I mean, Mako's already fired off his snake bites, so he won't have anything to work with, whereas Pancada's got his. You've got 2 shock darts to work with, and I believe the orb should be on the spike as well.
That's going to be a lot of afterplants. They at least managed to clear out the lurker. That means they are all coming from the same position, but with utility removed, and as you mentioned, basically so much damage being taken as they go anywhere near that spike. There shouldn't be much of an opportunity. Has got into half, and then RB just wipes out everyone else. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to actually get the defuse through. That's the only issue they have! 0.88! What a retake from DRX! That looked like there was no hope, but just quick clearance of that flank, and then just wiping out everyone else.
Unbelievable. I mean, DRX did everything right. That was the one situation in the multiverse that got them the win. And it's this swing from RB, cleaning the last 2, buying the time. And buying the time, even then, it's less than a second that it comes down to 5 between them. And if you're Loud, that's a devastating loss. But because of the way they played the early round, and we saw this before, they are able to come back in here with a buy. Ultimately, though, I think they'll look at it like, if we can't close a round like that, then it doesn't matter if we're buying. They've got to solve those issues. That cannot happen again.
Walk up the tube. They managed to get quite far in the last round with not so much of a challenge. It has been spotted by Zesta straight away. They're going to pop out that null command, the flash, to try and take that extra space, although we haven't seen the move yet from Aspas, but the dash across will give an opportunity. No trade back, though.
You know, Sadic's only down on the stairs, but I don't think anyone's going to be getting him up. He's at least a Cypher cam for now. Spotting it out. No one's walking up to yellow. Can feed that info over. Zest waiting for him to pass, and then they'll start to make their move. Again, look at what they're up against. Shock darts for Sassy, but no snake bites in play for Pancada. They'll be playing up a lot closer to the site this time, trying to catch them as they make their way through. Sassy, first point of contact perhaps, and well, the shots are hit clean as can be. That's a much better hold out Loud.
Yeah, and I like the fact that this time they actually have a proper setup out of the door. They know it's okay, we can take this control relatively easy. We have ourselves the null command, which will shut out all of the utility of those passive players, so it means that our entry in towards the A site will have no utility to delay us either. And then you're just able to use Aspas as like, okay, other side of things, maybe if Buzz gets a kill, gets an orb, might be able to do something in this round, but ultimately, they're just opting to try and stack up into this A site. 4 players already here. Already managing to spot out 1, but RB has avoided it. I think they're trying to bait in a swing, knowing that somebody's close. However, DRX very willing to just be patient in this scenario, and they have a screen of their own just to try and make this push through a little bit more awkward.
Toxin screen down.
A couple of sheriffs in play, in particular Mako stood slightly further back on that A site. The headhunter for RB, the fall back to yellow, and he can continue to pick them from there. Who destroys this? It looks like it's going to be RB. Oh, it's not even. He's not going to destroy it. Sticking around, making them spend some utility. I like it. He's now back to yellow. Snake bite to slow them. And this is going to offset Loud's utility.
They know 3 players are here. They have seen Chamber. They saw Jet at the beginning of the round. And then they've just seen a snake bite. So this rotation from Loud is just based off the utility that they've already spotted. And they might have even seen a player in mid as well. So this leaves it very safe to go in towards this B site, knowing there can't be a stack of players.
There's a late round push from Buzz, though. He's already detected these players rotating, but DRX are a little late to the party. Stacks gonna have to hold on a moment before support comes through, and well, as the cavalry arrives, it's only the 1 kill. Minimal resistance being met by Loud as they make their way in. The plant still not coming in. That was the spike that they dropped in a follow-up by Mako. Makes it super costly, but nothing else to be found. And Loud one step closer to equalizing the scoreline. That was, of course, an eco, though, and DRX still made it look a little bit competitive, considering the rotation timing was off as well.
I think the read from Loud was good, though. That was the main thing. It was just using the information that you garnered to pick the weakest spot in these sort of eco rounds. They didn't have to use much in terms of their ults either, although on the other side, Viper's Pit, Hunter's Fury, Bladestorm is not going to be the nicest thing to try and face off against. The thing is, though, for DRX, they've got to be careful. Because I think this round slips the other way, game on.
Absolutely. Yep, the lead that they had, as we said, losing both pistols, it was remarkable. But if they don't make this one look a little better, then you start to really get worried. Remember, this is Loud's map pick. You know, we can look at the last game versus Optic, but as you said, you didn't get to see that much of their attacking side, and maybe it would have been strong enough to make us believe. 120 on the clock, DRX not going for the info game. Similar to what we saw from Loud. Passive play, looking for a pick here or there. Get the attempted play around middle, but this up here for Aspis, it almost caught vision. It was so close to finding Mako swinging out on either side, but they are missing each other by milliseconds on some of these peaks.
The thing is as well, they can't really beat any rotations because they just flashed outside of B on the side of DRX and got the info that there was somebody there. So they're not wanting to shift any of their positions just yet. They're also throwing the drone in from the attack side in towards this A site, and actually they have baited out the Hunter's Fury, but it's not going to get anything as they now push B.
He's realized immediately as well, and there's the kill off the back of, oh my god, absolute desolation. There was a smoke down and they just spray through it. Kill after kill going DRX's way. You saw that 2 bursts of that Hunter's Fury go out and it gets canceled, and he's thinking, okay, this is a B play. Rotation was in right away, and the guys on site, they held it for longer than they even should have. That spike is down in the open, and it is concretely theirs. There's no safe way to retrieve this. Sassy's picked up the operator, and he is heading for the hills with 5 seconds on the clock. There's no chance they take this round. All they want is to set themselves up for the next.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we are just seeing the utility used from DRX being able to work things out. Because I was looking at the A side and thinking, okay, there's definitely some vulnerabilities there, but it was more just because they were so reliant on that Hunter's Fury. They went, okay, that will get us information, do a lot of damage on the way through if they try and push it. And the second they don't spot anything, the orb goes up. And that's the big thing. Now, one of the things I really wanted to mention, so I was speaking to Kanyang, obviously on your screen there, the CEO. He's with Hwani, who is also one of the coaches of the current coach, Termi. So we have got a long lineage at the moment of like esports veterans in the DRX camp, and well, I'm sure right now they're having a pretty good time. Although he did say, I saw him with a sign last time saying he was going to like give them a big bonus. So.
Oh, Mako, he's in a little bit of trouble, but they've gone right past him. They have no idea he's been revealed, though. It took a little long, but as he got spotted, that at least allows them to drop him, drop the pit, and get onto the site. Here comes a spray. Buzz not able to land it. Shock darts on their way. Oh, and I don't even know how he's controlled it. I don't know that he meant to kill him, but he's got the frag. Still, numbers won't equalize as Aspis keeps on going. A 3rd kill in this round, and only Buzz left to find. He's hit him to 39, and with 3 players left to drop, Loud seemed to have stolen this round away. What a play by Aspis, and Buzz, he is just looking for absolutely anything. No information to work with, and in the end, he's going to be shot in the back by Pankata.
Yeah, like you see that operator in play and you almost expect it to be on Aspis, but instead he is leading the charge, taking that space, a crazy final shot as well, and they actually dealt with what was quite a dangerous position better than I expected. I think with the fact that Marco gets past it, but then just being spotted by the drone, a little bit unlucky in that regard, but this is the superstar level Aspis that we sort of expect to see on this team. 11-8. Luckily, again, just having that Chamber and Jet combo is going to bail out the side of DRX in terms of their finances, but after this round, it'll be a little bit more troublesome.
Well, DRX going straight in for the aggression with RB, but he's spotted, tagged up, and he's got to get out of here. Again, early denial of this aggression has been such a strong feature for both of these sides on the attack. They've denied the pushes down halls. Now, the push that was coming down through the elbow. Hunter's Fury. It's caught Zest for 1, but he won't get the follow-up. Still decent damage done, but the snake bites also stop any further aggression from coming through. You can't take space off the back of it when you still have that utility up against you. But the good thing is it's burnt down now, and so that's a big worry for these players.
I almost wonder if that was being used as a distraction. Just try and get the mid player's attention to allow Les to take a little bit of extra ground. Because in that whole fight, he was just moving his way forward. Or even just try to bait some rotations, but nobody moving. Marco is going to throw down another snake bite, which again will buy a little bit of extra time. But the next time out, there's not going to be much to stop them.
Yeah, the drone at least has already been expanded. Now they have an idea of where Buzz is, and the nades lit him down. He's 30-24. Shots ringing out. He's still alive, but he won't get anything done past damage. Aspis, this is not a conventional spot to run the operator in. Maybe the element of surprise can come through, but no. RB is the one instead to pick up that kill. Still more loud players alive than DRX. And look at the position of Les. That is nasty.
The other two are saving. They're almost just saying, okay, tour de force, you don't have a weapon. Just try and do some damage in this round. Try and make things as costly as possible. And, well, he'll get nothing more. That lurk, again, has just been causing issues. Being able to take that space late in the round, almost as a separate member of this squad. And now he's trying to remove the remaining weapons. He's been spotted by Zest. But you can see that Stax is somewhat torn between two spots, and Zest actually goes and peeks him. Not the man you want to be fighting on Loud at the moment. Sat right at the top of that board. And well, mentioned the finances. Now DRX are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Stax should at least have a rifle. No!
Can't quite put Loud on the back foot, at least so far on this defensive half. They have struggled to. And a read here that just is not correct. DRX going for a gamble towards A. 3 players there, 1 in the halls. And instead, it looks like it's going to be Stax that's left to do it all with a Sheriff in hand, no shields, no flashes.
It's all about timing, and that's the thing. They're moving quickly enough that I don't think DRX are going to be anywhere near this site. The hope would be that they could have run around behind and found something, but no. Basically, you're reliant on Stax killing everyone.
So the orb is still down on the B site, so it's at least going to slow them on the way through, maybe decay them a little bit, but, well, Les has just put himself above 20 kills. He's on 21 now. And this spot is being watched. Oh, the timing could not have been worse. Good trade at least, but it does little to bridge the gap in this round. 2 versus 4. Now Plant, you know, it went down so long ago.
Last player standing.
Oh my God, just tearing them apart. I felt like he's been doing more on this attacking side. After DRX did so well to decimate his setups, this round he just played pure entry fragger. And while RB, he's going to have a buy in the next round anyway, so might as well try and get something, but nothing for it. I also want to lean back to what you mentioned about Les and his performance in this tournament so far, because he's been one of the players that has really shifted away from just playing Chamber. And you look at some of the best maps they have. Okay, this one was what we saw prior in the tournament. He's moved back over to Cypher, an agent that is quite far out of the agent pool on a lot of maps. He's also gone back to Killjoy on Ascent, and that is their best map. So a lot of the things that they're almost surrounding a lot of their plays around is this man as an anchor on a site, and he has been superb.
So here for Sadik, 5-1 so far this half, and first kills to first deaths. I mean, that is impressive. Just using those flashes perfectly to get through some of this utility for early engagements between him and Aspis. They've been doing a fantastic job. Buzz now looks to upset that statistic, with Sadik being the man challenged right away. The dash already activated. I mean, he's got that get out of jail free card, but he just doesn't seem worried. He's still sticking around. I mean, he's got the cover of RB, so putting a lot of stock in his teammates.
It's also, it was just the health. I was like even if you do manage to dash, normally you take a couple of bullets worth of damage. Again, though, this true spot has just caused them so many issues. They're going to get the information. The Aspas is here, but I'm going to be honest, I think you probably could have worked that out anyway.
Yeah, some simple deduction of the previous rounds. A quick TP back, they even see where RB's gone to, and they know Buzz has been playing around here as well. There's the flashes from Sadik. No reward this time, a nade to go through. That's a deep nade for Stairs, and it might give Aspis the angle. They're trying to push players out of position with their utility. Oh, that's a whiff! Okay. Aspis leaving the 62 HP Buzz alive, and he's lost his life for that attempt. DRX with a man advantage, but they have to play into the pit.
Yeah, and they've also actually put trips inside it as well. Such a nasty setup. Sadik actually goes swinging, though. I don't know if there was a pop flash off the back of that, but it didn't catch anyone if there was. utility being expended just to try and slow this down as much as possible. Everybody going to be desperately low as they try and push through, and Pancada is just killing them off. He knows the lineup, he knows where the spike is, and they need to get rid of him, and they just can't. A solid afterplant from Loud. From such a desperate scenario, we now sit 11-11.
DRX looked like they had this one in the bag, but now the pressure is truly on. An equalized scoreline for the Korean side is just devastating, and they need to make up for it coming into the next two.
Mitch, map 1 versus FPX, 1917.
Yeah.
Map 1 versus, in the previous series before that, 1860.
Yeah.
Map 1 in the previous series before that, 1614. DRX and map 1s have been quite long.
I remember speaking to Stacks about that in the interview. I was like, man, what is it that just keeps bringing you to these long games? Like, how do you have the stamina for that? And he doesn't really know. I don't think any of us do. I don't know why it has to happen, but DRX, they need that little time to wake up in second halves. Look, 11-11 is not the end of the world, but momentum's in Loud's favor. As I said, this is their map, their comfort level high. The same for DRX, but now that we're coming to the penultimate round of this half of Indeed regulation, DRX have only got Sheriffs, Headhunter on RB, a Marshall for Zest. They haven't had a lot of success in this round. That said, this is the exact same buy where Loud found their only round outside of the first two on their defense.
Again, they're setting up into this A site. Now there is pressure down mid this time, trying to watch, but the timing just hasn't gone their way. It's just an anomaly. Buzz though, within this corner, it's a nasty surprise hiding behind the screen, and Marco, while he's causing a distraction, manages to get one. Even still though, just like DRX, things start to stabilize. But again, it's left onto Stacks. The rotator, the B defender, looking to try and battle and brawl, and unfortunately, the Sheriff this time is unkind. Loud, 12-11, from a huge deficit, look to take their map choice after 5 rounds in a row.
Well, there's a new Sheriff in town here on Breeze. Loud came in looking like they were down and out in this half. Faith was at an all-time low in the Brazilian side, but now just look at that scoreline. Not only are they in the lead, but they are on map point here, and you can see DRX are not happy with that. We said this is a game, a tournament for DRX. Hell, this whole year has been about trying to break the mold, stopping around this point in the last 2 tournaments, losing to Optic again and again, and now another green wall awaits them. The attacking side needs one more. But the rifles are out for DRX, and an aggressive push from Buzz. He hasn't had the success here. Damage is all they've netted, and this time, well, nothing.
One of the factors that has worked well for them in the series so far is the fact that they've managed to win in these overtime scenarios. The fact that they haven't had that tough loss yet. It's been 2-0s all the way through. The build-up, though, heads in towards this site once again. And Sadak, once more, is going to cause them issues around this door.
They're going in.
Look at Les.
They're making their way, and Les has the lurk, and the rest of the players, in particular Aspas, already through. They'll drop Sassy, but he's trying to wrap on the back of the pyramids. No one spotted him. That's massive. Only one, though. The trade comes in quickly. DRX attempting to hold on. They don't want to be beaten down out of this map, and it looks like they might have it, but Les coming up behind for the one. A little bit of disruption, a reveal to come through, the information there, but the spike is on the floor. They have 30 seconds to regain control of this site, and it's the man of RB, the operator, in, and he's gone! What a shot from Sadak! That could be the kill they needed. The plant to come through, and the late push through cave will not find them. They've got a post plant.
That's the thing, they had the trip. It had to be broken by Stacks. He was hoping that he could lurk through from behind, but the fact is, Les never really dies early. And he's waiting and watching for Zest to try and come through. This battle is going to be everything. 2 1v1s almost being taken. Les is going to put one down. It's down to Stacks again. He tries to bait the swing, but it's all over. Loud, every team has struggled to close out map 1 versus DRX. They don't even need overtime. They'll do it in regulation.
We heard it from Benkai on the desk that he believed after all of these events, after all the whiffs, the chokes late into tournaments, the curse would be broken. The narrative would be rewritten this time, because surely DRX had learned to deal with the pressure, but this time, Tom, it's the green team coming ahead again. This is devastating.
So Benkai, he can correct me if I'm wrong. It's second ever desk, yeah? Second ever desk, and Mitch has just thrown you under the bus. Straight under it already. So, yeah, Benkai said this, and then, well, look what happened. No, the pressure being on them now, and this is the thing, and I'm sure it's something the desk will definitely cover. They've had all of these long maps, this first map versus FPX, 100 Thieves, and Furia, and every single time they won. You get that relief, even if you were ahead, behind, no matter what, you get the relief, you go into second map, and that's where they've looked strong. Not 10 rounds in the second map every single time. Now they're on the back foot. Now they're on the other side, as Loud have managed to turn this into a victory from what looked like imminent defeat, as you mentioned. They didn't win a single buy round in the first half of this game. They go into the side that normally is weaker for them, and they barely lose a round.
Considering they win the pistol to start, even one of those pistols going the other way,
yeah,
this game's already over. There were so many small things, and that final round gotta be the straw that breaks the camel's back mentally. Resetting from this, we talk about close losses as being one of the hardest things to deal with.
Trying to push the boundaries of the map and really get in on those early fights.
Well, Tom, it looks like barriers are about to go up, and the attack side of DRX put to the test. Got RB separated out from the team, watching any push coming in through doors. He'll set up his turret, move around, and become the normal chamber trap that you see, watching for the push in through the window, just taking that control. The rest of the team wants to pressure A, but Loud have a very similar idea. The Paranoia is ready, a stun in hand as well. This could be dangerous. Paranoia on its way. It only connects on one, though. The rest of the team swinging. The kills don't go their way to start, but they recover nicely.
Yeah, that actually went a lot better than expected. Sassy, though. The timing could be wonderful. Not expecting a fourth player to be here so soon, and now it's all up to Buzz. He's being pincered from behind as well. He has to be very careful of that. Is wary that that flank could be coming through, but look at them teaming up together. Loud not wanting to give him a 1v1.
Yeah, it's just perfect play. There's really very minimal openings for Buzz to come in here. 100 HP on both players. He's got to be connecting the headshots on the way around this corner. But the trades will be quick. Already the haunt back online for Sassy. And in a moment, that's going to be thrown out. There you go, clearing off long. And now they know exactly where he's coming from. At least for the next couple seconds, they'll have their sights set on short. There's the swing, and it's closed out by Sassy with a phenomenal peek back through on short, dropping the spike, and the final player, Loud, have gone 3 for 3 in pistols.
Yeah, and an exciting idea as well. I think we're going to see a lot more stuff like that. The fact is they don't even combine alongside that fade either, which is the normal way you're going to be pressuring over onto that A site, so clearly showing that there's a lot more depth. Now, there's no surprise for me that the Haven stats for DRX are very good. This has been a map that I think they've been consistently one of the best in the world for probably over a year and a half. Like, it is absurd how good they are at sort of creating on this map, and I think that's why we still have this sort of, well, vintage setup for them on the Agent Pool.
Yeah, it's not one that I'm against in any way. Oh my! Buzz has got some good ideas to dash in the shorty. Sadik under pressure, but picking up every single kill. Walked away with 4. The ace possible! Les has stolen it. He's taking it away from him, but that would have actually given him the Rolling Thunder as well, so that's kind of rude, but okay.
You know, I need my 1 orb that's going to go towards the Tour de Force.
I'm pretty close to Tour de Force, man. I'm pretty close. Let me get it.
Of course, a Prime Gaming Flawless. Exactly what you want to see as well from Loud, because they are a team that normally likes to go in quite heavy in these purchases. But yeah, a single kill coming through here for Sadak could be a pretty nasty scenario for DRX, as they are not close to having any of those ults online. But as we saw in the last map, they are pretty good in buy rounds.
Well, that is the truth. Buy round coming up right here and now, and the disruption play was to try a seize nade into mid. Loud don't get any reward for that. DRX playing nice and far back to start with. They've got a turret down. I believe that's inside the smoke on A, so no, not even a chance for a player to sneak in and get a little bit closer. But ultimately, when you look at this early round, DRX have gotten nothing done. This was very much waiting for the aggression of their opponents. I think that's why they're even filtering into mid now to try and clear out off the C-stage that no one's pushed down. And with nothing seen, this is a little bit awkward. To play these kind of rounds with a minute on the clock before you leave your spawn, it means that you could be running into players in nasty little corners at any moment.
Yeah, and they've already used up both the Prowlers as well.
Yep.
So any spot they now push is going to have a sort of dry peak risk to it. But already, they managed to take control fairly easy. The counter utility coming out though, and actually, the Aftershock is going to delay, but not stop.
He's gone in, off the back of the flash. Aspis has absolutely no fear, trading out Sadik. A rifle now to be retrieved, potentially. His teammates pushing down on A long, though, so far away. This is going to probably be a reset on timing, just to allow that little bit of extra positioning for Loud. They've done well to trade out the numbers like that. A little bit of HP taken off of Aspis, though.
The spam not far away from doing some damage. I almost feel like there's a possibility they're just trying to lock them in at this point. Less waiting for some sort of distraction to be made, and Buzz, he wants to try and fight around the smoke, repositioning to join up with his teammates, and he just isn't missing a beat. Finally, he's put down by Sassy, but that flank is watched from Marco, and it leaves just Sassy alone. And this time, he's not going to be able to fight anything back. Retreating with the rifle, they'll still have a purchase, of course, coming into the next round, but DRX, after what was a little bit of a shaky start, looked pretty good.
Yeah, that definitely could have gone a lot worse. They only lose the 2 players coming out of that round, but again, the benefit of these early economic rounds, winning the pistol, first of all, but then the way they follow that up over on Loud, giving themselves these rifles to still duel with, making sure that they're going for those trades. Like, Sadik had the rifle, he goes down, and straight away Aspis is on the swing, ready to take that kill. Making value of those Spectres off the trades alone, so 2-1. As we rock into this round, you can see there's a couple players low on credits for DRX, so a really good opportunity for Loud to walk away with this early half.
Yeah, same for either side though. It's going to be a swing round in terms of that economy. Less already going to do a little bit of damage. We've seen the same aggressive push in towards short. Now they haven't actually used a lot of the combo utility just yet. The nade and the C's still online, but with this peak spotting absolutely nothing, they might actually want to start gambling a rotation back away from this side of the map.
So in the previous round I said it was the turret, but I realized it was the alarm bot that's been outside of A. They've had to pull that back. I'm not sure that Loud were close enough to hear it though. They've still got 2 players in position on the A site, so this push is going to have to be held off by the other 3. And immediately they've lost less and conceded the control. They're going to have to play for the post plant on this. They have got a Rolling Thunder to work with, and that's going to be the point man of the round. But look, a little bit too close was Buzz. They've taken him down anyways. I don't know if they saw him through the smoke, but no plan for DRX, no control, and now a man disadvantage. They've even lost Zest on the way back. They're completely trapped, and the nade is hunting them down.
Yeah, they're now stuck in the mud. They either need to push Aspas, who's going to have a teammate looking to support him in the form of Pancada, so even if they get that kill, they're still locked in, and they've only got 20 seconds to play with, so they'd have to just run straight towards this B site. I almost wonder if it's just worth saving the guns instead. They are going to look for that fight, and Marco, well, he gets a single kill before eventually going down. Really solid stuff out from Loud, because the fact is, the initial battle in that round didn't go to plan. The idea is Les maybe gets a kill, get out, but instead, he goes down. He even had the rendezvous allowing him to go out of the site, and then they were going to play retake. It didn't work out, and they still managed to get into that site quickly enough and stop them from getting the plant.
And really, you look at Buzz. He got past the Rolling Thunder. He was up close, ready for the fight, and almost feels like maybe he was a little too close. The barrel could have been poking through the smoke, or it was blind fire, but either way,
it's the only spot, so I guess they would have spammed it anyway.
Yeah, I think it's hard to even detect because of one step further back. Oh, that's a missed shot. An opportunity for DRX as they close in the distance, but Loud doesn't miss a second time.
Yeah, and the problem is that's the Blade Storm gone. That was the one real danger in this round that Loud had to face off against. Now, they do have the Nightfall, but I think unless they get a kill or 2, it's probably not going to be something they want to try and use unless... Well, you can see what happens when he does survive, even baiting for Pancada. As now it's left all onto Stacks. 1 versus 5, clearing him out is going to be an impossibility. He manages to get 2 kills, a nice couple of shots, but that will be all. Loud, 4th round on the board on this defensive side, and okay, now there's going to be a buy coming up, but it's whether or not DRX can break back.
Yeah, look, this is starting to become a commanding position from Loud. The fact that they are as far ahead as they are, and then the context of some of these rounds of the previous map in particular, losing out on that, the mentality of DRX is under a lot of strain. And, well, they'll be able to keep themselves happy and smiling, but if they lose this round, it becomes a much more dire situation, especially if they lose it in such a convincing way, right? They're coming in with their Nightfall, they're coming in with a Rolling Thunder as well, but Aspis had a fantastic game.
Are they gonna season aid? I think they're gonna season aid straight away. They haven't done it on this side of the map just yet, so they might even expect this to be for free. It is gonna be instantly bypassed, but they are gonna know that there's a player close, and Showstopper will get them what they wanted anyway.
Smoker down. A lot of control for DRX now that they can't afford to contest. I mean, the closest thing they have is, well, it's going to be that cloud burst coming out of Buzz. Not a great thing to be filling the gaps up with. No possibility of a res. Again, still having the Nightmare as well as the Rolling Thunder.
The thing is, it's a really powerful ult combination on that A site, but that's why you see the challenge from Loud. Like, they wanted to deny that early space, even using the Showstopper just to make sure they garner an extra kill. And now you almost have to wonder, do you want to gamble back into that as DRX, or are you just looking to try and reset and play someone else? And they are going to go in that direction because it's still a very good way to get an afterplan. But you can see how passive the defense is currently. They will fall straight out of the site and play retake.
Yeah, they've been here for like 20 seconds now, just playing way, way back. And this is the thing, Loud are fully aware. You look at DRX, how are they going to get into a site? Well, they're not going to be smoking angles and pushing. The most likely thing for them to do is to make this commitment. Double ult in, take the space, so they'll at least get themselves on the site. But Loud are happy with that trade because they're in a position now, taking out the updraft.
The thing is, there's a player out there. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it would have been a nice fake, but it hasn't done too much. And Blackhearter actually going to stick that deep control. He has bypassed RB, and this fight's going to be everything. If he can find this kill, there's a good chance, but Buzz has just come up with 2. This round looked like such a good position, and instead now RB pinces from behind. The remaining 2 trying to get back in, fighting through. It's into a 2 versus 2. What? That just won! What a swing round coming back. It's left onto RB. The man who was in the backlines, they know exactly where he is. Sassy trying to guard him, and somehow once again, Loud come out on top.
That has got to be such a horrible position to be in as the attackers.
It's a backbreaker.
4v2 again. And it's off this drop down from up above. Buzz getting the kill. They even catch the flank. It seemed all the danger men were gone, but they can't close these rounds out. 2 now can be tough for any team. Now they're coming in
and Guild as well. That was like the group of death. It was a horrible, horrible group. Crew didn't make it out either.
You know, you look at DRX right now, and it was very much feeling like after that first half, that mold was broken, that it was shattered, but now it looks like it could be their mental that's shattered, and I wouldn't blame them. A tough game so far, and it's only getting tougher. This eco round sees absolutely nothing. 6-1.
I love the setups from Loud. They are changing the way they play every single round. I don't think there's been a single round so far in this half that has been the same. The C-site setup, every round has been Les takes a fight, he TPs out, they play retake. This time, Les TPs out, Pancada is deep. Nobody checks the corner, he gets a multi-frag. Like, they are just putting in little details that you go, okay, you know we're doing this, you know we're doing this, you know we're doing this, we're not doing this. And every single time, it seems like DRX are fooled. Loud are playing a magnificent game right now.
Eliminated again and again, or knocked to lower brackets. Both of these teams have seen Optic far more times than they'd want to. The next game up for the winner here will be Xset or Optic, a chance to maybe take some revenge, and for now it looks like it'll be Loud who have that chance. 6-1 in the lead, but a bye round for DRX. All of these players towards the A site. This has been the hotly contested zone, and so Loud will have a late play to try and take some control. A Prowler, 2 players spotted. They definitely heard 2 different guns, a Vandal and a Phantom, fire off, so they know at this point you've got a bunch of presence outside the A site, so they'll stick with their 3 players in position. Breach ready to counter flash out on long.
Buzz is
inside of them.
Oh, well, he's just been caught out. They've sectioned them apart with the ult. The push through, just unable to get anything, and now Sadak just looking to try and slow them down. It's the TP from Marco, though. This is an insane play from him, but even still, it's not even going to be close to enough. The rest of his team died just seconds before he made that move. And although the distraction garnered 3 kills, it still was fairly comfortable for Loud.
The Brazilians leading 7-1. Korea not looking too hot right now. This was DRX's map pick, and we had concerns on the mental level coming in. And I'm not sure they've had a chance to even reach any of that. Loud have dominated. The A plan has been working again and again. They seem to have a lot of A plans.
The game that's being called by Sutter may be one of the best we've ever seen. Like, they have had the read every single round. Like, the fact that they hold the Nightfall just to try and basically dismantle the A take, it's just fantastic. I don't think they've had an ultimate that hasn't had impact, which is just absurd. That doesn't happen very often at all. And once again, back down to some SMGs, some pistols. Okay, you got lockdown, but it's lockdown.
Especially on this map.
There's a breach.
There's very minimal positions you can use it from, and wherever you do use it from, they can probably aftershock it.
Yeah. Maybe on the, I think we've seen on the defensive side just some incredibly passive A1s that have worked out, but you're hoping for a miracle.
50 seconds on the, on the clock as DRX make their way out on long. Tucked in. This is a bait setup, and they haven't given it away at all. Still, it will be cleared. Sassy holds on for one, and Aspis with the trade. They've got the spike now, and he falls back to watch this short pinch. He knows Zest is going to want to support his teammates on the way through, even with the flash in play. A Prowler, but 2 players watching him. There was no way he was getting any more than 1. And with the spike down on long and 2 players spotted, they know they've got the info to work off of. Still to follow up on the kills, and the TP out of corner might cause a bit of a problem, but there's only 20 seconds left. So where are they going to go with the spike with such limited time? They're only going one way. And that's straight into the site to their deaths.
Spike down A. 10 seconds left.
Wow. Again, 8-1. We've seen responses from DRX throughout this tournament, but most of the time it's been in that first map. Most of the time, as said, they haven't had to have a mental reset. It's been in the map itself that they've been able to turn things around, and well, I think they're getting a taste of their own medicine here. They let it slip when it comes to Breeze. They've now come into their choice, and it's not looking good. And I don't want to take away credit from Loud. I think they are playing an excellent game in terms of the reads, ults, individual brilliance, but at the same time, you expect DRX to have more than just one.
Well, for Loud, this is a team that was denied playoffs last time, grand finalists before, and they're looking to repeat the first event of the year. 8-1 in the lead. A dominant scoreline for their defense starting it out, and whatever you think about DRX's defensive capabilities, I think even Seth would find it hard to find a positive here. The silver lining, pretty dull unless opening it up again. He hasn't been getting a ton of kills, but he hasn't been dying a lot either. This time, that changes with RB overrunning C.
Yeah, we've seen him step up. They only have 1 kill up until this point. Nice shots from Zest. Starting to see a little bit of the DRX we know and love. 4 players survive. A second round onto the board. And that's the thing, Mitch. If they can streak this back to 4, if they can give themselves a little bit of a lifeline, there is still very much a chance of resurgence. The thing is, though, this looks far more like a blip on the radar, at least for now.
It was a big round from RB. We've seen some of those and solid connections from Zest, but that is a round 1 off of aim duels going their way, and that has not been the story of this game so far. A long road to recovery. Let's talk about it. If they can push to 4, great. Pistol under their belt, they win the first of the series for them? Maybe. But the reality is right now, Loud have everything to work with. They've got their ultis online, Tour de Force is in, Rolling Thunder, and Showstopper. So many safety nets, and sure, DRX have their own, but they haven't been able to do anything with it so far. Static down after 1, and RB with another back-to-back big rounds. That might just be what they need.
Yeah, if RB could just get triple kills every single round, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot. The aggressive attempt this time didn't work out, and they are playing it so safe.
No breach.
Just put that lockdown into play. Yeah, there's no counter for it this time out. Pancada is coming in on that flank, but it's something they have to be watching for. Not many angles that he can be really pincering him from behind, although that one's free. They do have a little bit of a crossfire, though, that I think will be tough to break.
Once that alarm ball went down, the timing was perfect for Pancada to sneak on by, but he'll be caught after just the element of surprise, all that put him ahead in those duels with Les now the last man standing. He's got 3 shots left in his Tour de Force, 3 targets to find, and he uses 2, in fact, to break. Utility, here's a Paranoia, can't break that one, and they know he's not defusing. This round's already over.
8-3. as I said, if they can get to 4, especially after the half they've had, especially with how dominant the majority of rounds are, excluding the 2v4, it would give them something to play with at least.
That was my face too. Yep. Pretty good spray down.
They've also got a hell of a lot of ults. Rolling Thunder, Nightfall, Blade Storm. Okay, there's some on the other side as well, and with how many set plays there have been for Loud, it looks like they might be setting up for another one. A trap play on this A site where we've seen a lot of early pressure from DRX so far.
Sees nade going in, players were there, but they've fallen back, and the TP out of Mako just to bait the sound, so they use up utility. 4 players from Loud towards this A site, and the immediate response from DRX, they have left entirely, fled to C, and that ult is going to catch the information. They know exactly where Les is, and he has to leave. Couldn't even hear the steps as they made it close, so timing was all that it was about.
They've held the Rolling Thunder. So there's one on both sides, but it means that they can almost counter it, use it to try and stop the defuse. RB again is going to be finding the early kill in this round, and Aspas trying to clear things out with that showstopper. The Boombot's actually going to do more damage, it seems, as he is running out of fuel. Oh! Marco's managed to survive in this backline. That could be a really nasty surprise. Rounds the corner, not ready for him. And his teammates starting to dwindle, starting to fall. It's left all onto Sassy, and the time surely is gone.
It must be. There's too many players to clear out. Loud have been criminals for 4v2s, for clutches, but with another 3K round from RB, it seems we found the formula. Just let this man kill them all, and the best part is, he had
storylines here. This sounds quite bleak.
Well, let me give you a little
storyline. Perk it up a little bit.
Buzz has had a pretty poor performance at every international event he's been at. Now he comes into this one, second to Ye, looked incredible. But again, when it gets to this stage of the tournament, we see a different DRX. We see a choky DRX. And right now, it looks like Vader's got his grip on them. Loud planting in, they've got it for free on C, and a retake attempt in the pistol for DRX. They have won 0 out of 3 so far. They need this one to give them a foothold.
They have a lot of utility to get back in. The stuns, the paranoias. This is where DRX were at their best, was in the retakes.
Great nade.
Now they've already managed to at least stun up some of these players. RB on the way back through is going to get one, but it's a little disjointed. They're reliant on Buzz to lead the charge, and they're just getting slaughtered. It's left all onto Stacks, and he gets nothing done. It will be 9-4. Loud, they convert every pistol, maybe in the whole series. Because the fact is, DRX now need to fight back.
They need to fight back from this position, and it certainly ain't pretty. Look at this nade that came through. It was actually a little bit earlier. You saw it get thrown down by Aspas as they put all that utility you mentioned, Tom, into play. They were stunning, they were blinding, they were looking to seize the space, and in that moment, we had a nade go through that stopped the push entirely. It ruined the timing of DRX, something that they were so good at on Breeze, if you remember, and now it's come back to bite them on Loud side.
But that's the thing, historically, they were always fantastic on the retakes of this map, but yeah, the fact that Loud are so prepared for that is great. Oh, it's a little awkward, but they'll spam him through in the end. And now in an afterplant scenario, again, there's barely anything to play with here, Mitch.
Yeah, look, even the guy coming up behind is going to be caught by the trap. You don't have the element of surprise for Zest. There you go. Little sound cue, and that's all they need. Sassy picking up Buzz. They know there's one waiting for them behind. I don't think so. I mean, with the classics, it's already hard enough, but once these guys have the map control contained and they know where to focus, able to take duels as a team, there's not really much that you can do. This is double digits for Loud, locked in, guaranteed, and the only question remaining is whether Zest can even manage to just get close to being die at this point, but he wants to do damage on the way back out. But remember, he triggered the trap a little earlier, so they're staying well away from him.
I guess the main thing is just don't die to Sassy. Allow him to have Nightfall online going into the first buy round.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, it would be. Nonetheless, we now get the purchase from DRX. And I feel like it has to be a confident response. Even winning this round with like 2 players alive, it's not going to fill me with anything but worry.
You know what they're saying right now? Well, if DRX can do it, wait, we are.
Nice, nice.
They should be able to bring this across the line. They've had the clutches before.
We can do it. We can do it.
it.
I don't think you should be giving inspirational speeches anytime soon.
No, they've done it before. They can do it now. There's 6 rounds between them. But Loud again are setting their sights on the C site, and look at how quickly they're approaching. But Aspas is being caught in the stun. Fantastic. The trades, though, ever in Loud's favor. Stack stuck on the backside. He's got one for free. They've left him completely unaccounted for. Maybe a chance here with the reposition being fantastic. He'll be traded out, but he's done well enough to equalize.
Yeah. He's given them a chance, and he's bought time, more importantly. They should have an idea. The Buzz is on the flank, although he's going to do some extra damage. The fight versus Pancada is a little awkward, and his teammate Zest can't really find an angle to take this fight. In fact, they're going to pressure him. They're going to push him, and in this corner might be a nasty surprise. I don't think they'll expect it. DRX, they will bounce back, give themselves a fifth, but again, it was costly and had to be a strong performance from Stax.
It really did, but he put up the hold in the moment that matters. He answered their call, 5 rounds between them. But the problem here, Tom, is that this was a close round. It looked good from the perspective of winning a round for DRX, but the reality is it came close, and that wasn't the buy round.
It was mostly Spectres.
Yeah.
Unless with a double opener, is still something to worry about. Now, I will say I kind of expect DRX to almost play a retake setup again. You just look at the ults that they have, it's sublime to go in for those retakes. Instead, though, Loud challenging mid early, and you can see that Buzz is already set up with deep A control. Loud are more than happy to just try and put this pressure on elsewhere.
I mean, there's 120 on the clock, so much time to work with. Seems they know that RB's in this corner, and they want him gone. Cost him a bit of HP, bit of utility. He's going back in to reclaim that control. As Loud attempt to really drag those rotations, the only man watching this cross is Buzz, and the smoke now denies the information. This could be a fake, but it's not. The entirety of the attacking side seems to be shifting towards this A side. But as you said, it's likely to see a retake setup from these guys, Rolling Thunder and Nightfall to work with. They currently are playing on the site. They want to hold this and not give Loud any ground.
I wonder if he's going to use it. The problem is he's being hit by utility. Buzz does well, and then Zest is able to pounce off the back of it. Sassy alongside Les. 2v4. Dare I say it.
They've lost these before on DRX.
Yep, that was it.
Sassy and Les making their way in, and ult's still online. One kill and they might trigger it. They might pull it. Looks like they're going to be moving back to long to work together on this. Les has a TP to get out of here. He needs to put his second one down. Wants to claim some space, but 10 seconds left. It's now or never, and it looks like they'll make the call for the ladder.
Yeah, good from DRX. Like, they've kept this one cleaner than the last, and it was mainly just off the team play, the interplay from Buzz and Zest. I was a little bit worried with the utility coming through that Zest might not be able to swing off that. But the fact that he gets a couple and then stays alive is crucial to the round. Economy for Loud's a little bit weird, though, because you still have the Nightfall. Okay, you're not going to have yourself the tour de force right off the bat, but if you can collect an orb, maybe get a kill, things might get a little bit interesting.
I love those classes, man. 10-6, 4 rounds between them. DRX coming in still with the ability to play retake on those ultis, but ultis are starting to get pretty close for Loud as well. You know, with the rounds that they've got, a decent buffer to work with, they're definitely not out of hot water just yet. It looks like when we talked about the garage play last round, they didn't really manage to push RB out of it. This time they're going to change it up and look for B, and already Aspis up close in the smoke. A Stinger is going to catch him with ult down. That is a huge mistake from Stax, and they double up with RB down. This eco round for Loud might just get them a whole lot of reward. Another!
Oh my god, how is Aspis getting so much done? That was one of the weaker weapons that they had, and now they're sat in an afterplant. One away from having the Rolling Thunder, and in fact, they're going to throw in the Nightfall now. Just get that extra information, take away some of the HP, and remove all the sound so they can just sprint back through. Marco, he's trying his best just to stick this, but he's going to go down to the Aftershock. Loud with an explosive round. Grant themselves 11, and DRX, well, they've got to feel a little foolish, but I'll be honest. Could you really expect Aspis to do that?
No, listen, you can expect him to be on the site, you can expect him to swing, but he was all the way up in their place, in their spawn. That said, Stacks on that swing, without the cover, without the player to trade, I mean, that is just a massive mistake. The problem is both players that were on that side wanted to use their ult. Yeah. That was the issue. You didn't have a third guy to watch it.
One through a Prowler, and while he's throwing the Prowler, he's about to ult. So it just missed timing.
It's an oversight. It's a small thing, and then the only risk was that he would be there. Yeah. Unfortunately, he was. And now look what they've got. a Rolling Thunder and a Showstopper coming into this round. Ulti's used on DRX's side previous. They don't have their Nightfall to work with. Their economy is on its last legs, Tom. If they lose this, they're down and out, but they've taken less to start.
Yeah, and that will at least give them a Blade Storm for the next round as a worst case. Again, though, some utility being burnt out by Aspas. It does seem like the plan is to go back towards that C site, at least for now. They're really trying to battle a little bit versus Marco. The real fight is going to be between them and RB, though, who's actually starting to rotate back. This might give up quite a bit of control.
Well, that Rolling Thunder's just putting the turret out of position, although it's still going to catch them on the way through. But the only damage that comes from it is, well, from RB is the turret. Showstopper right into the back. Pancata's already dead. They're starting to clean up some kills on DRX, but they haven't dealt with Aspas. The site is theirs, the plant can be as well, and Buzz is a little too far away to capitalize on these kills. Oh, he's dodged the hunt.
Yeah, 20 seconds left. He might be able to make a move as they go for the plant, but he's not going to win the battle. Sassy holding the angle, lands the instant headshot. And now, as you mentioned, DRX, well, saying they're on their last legs would be an understatement. They're in critical condition as they're going to come in with a weak purchase, a Blade Storm on Buzz, a lockdown, which, as we've mentioned, is, especially on this map, just so incredibly weak. I'm intrigued to see what they even try and pull out here.
We saw the last 3 rounds of the previous half have RB multiply his kills by 10 across those 3. When he got up to 10, now sat on 12. Yep, some decent rounds, 3 decent rounds, but outside of that, DRX have struggled. Their heroes haven't been here, and as we said, Buzz, second on the stats board for this event. He hasn't been showing up. He's been shut down every step of the way, and it is yet again the case. Blade Storm removed. Good kill for Stax. The spam back is strong. He was decayed so much, but his health is coming back. Makes it a little easier, but that lockdown isn't going to get the space they wanted out of it. RB with a drop, but only 1, and it's falling apart. Cloud are able to close it with 3 quick kills, and for the second time, they will be going to the upper finals versus a North American team. This year has been fantastic for this team. A hiccup at the previous event, but since that, they've come into this looking revitalized. An unbelievable game played here today.
But that's the thing, we questioned after Copenhagen if this team was going to be a one-hit wonder. Was it just something they came in one event, they had a great run in the upper bracket, and then it never happened again? Well, they've made the podium already. They are at the point where they will go either straight through into the grand final if they win their next match, or they head into that lower one anyway. Another fantastic tournament from this Brazilian squad. And well, let's put it this way. They have put their region on the map for a second time. This is the team that their Brazilian fans are going to support. And for DRX, unfortunately, history has repeated itself once again.
They made a mistake over on Loud versus Crew in the previous event, and then they lost to Optic, a team that's garnered the respect internationally, event in and event out. Then you move into the event before that, it was Optic that knocked them out there again. They just couldn't catch a break. After they beat them. But in the elimination match, they were gone. And now, here we are. They've made it through to the upper finals. They might even have a chance to face Optic again. Either that or it's going to be X set. Either way, it's the same flag on the other side of the stage, and an opportunity to once again defeat the North Americans and walk into the grand finals as the first team in there.
And that's the thing. I feel like going through in this sort of playoff bracket right now.